Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Khalifa Haroon, also known as Mr. Q, your friendly neighborhood Qatari, and today I'm going to be sharing how I made $1 million, reached $1 million, and got $1 million. But before we do that, I just wanted to share a little bit about my background. I actually studied in the UK where I got my law degree. Well, why did I choose law? Put simply, that was supposed to be the job, the career path that was going to make me the most money. You see, when I was in high school, I did what was known as an aptitude test or a general aptitude test, and the result was that I could do almost anything that I wanted. So that really didn't help me decide what my future was going to be. And I remember sitting down with the guidance counselor, his name was Mr. Black, and I said, listen, what should I do? He said, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, well, actually, what I want to do is I want to be the first Qatari actor in Hollywood. But that wasn't going to happen. My parents wanted me to get a real job. And at that point, I said, all right, well, then if I'm going to get a real job, then I want to get a job that's going to make me a lot of money. So he said to me, well, okay, why don't you go into a profession, go become a doctor, for example. I've got an issue. I cannot look at blood without my knees going weak, so that wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to become a doctor, I wasn't going to become a surgeon. Although a lot of family members had asked me if I would be willing to do that, and no, it wasn't going to happen. And then, of course, there was, other things related to the sciences and, engineering, which was going to take a while too. And then I landed on law. And it was in the final year, of course, of high school where I went and I had this internship at a law firm, and I realized, you know what? I'm pretty good at spotting mistakes. It's a gift and a curse, because whenever I'm walking around, I'll always notice that a picture is not straight. I'll notice spelling mistakes in a book, and it's a gift because I can find the mistakes and I can fix them. It's a curse because it means that I'm rarely satisfied with life. So I chose law, and I decided to go to university in the UK. And I figured, you know what? You always see people wearing their black gowns with their white wigs. And I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, hey, look at me, I'm a sir. I'm a lawyer, sir. And I went there. Now, while I was in university, that was when I got to meet a lot of people, and I spotted a couple of opportunities. I spotted an opportunity in I Love Qatar, and I'll talk about I Love Qatar later on, because not a lot of people knew about Qatar, and there wasn't a lot of information online. There was a gap in the market, and I knew that I could fill it. The second thing that I noticed was there wasn't a lot of choices for students to get good deals on mobile plans. And in the UK, there were, I think at the time, 5 telco networks. And so what I did is I created a business. That became my first business. I put money in my pocket, put real money in my pocket, called Fluid Mobile. And through Fluid Mobile, I would show students the cheapest possible deal. And if you signed a contract with that network, I would get a commission, anything from £5 to £50. And quite quickly it became well known as the source to go to if you wanted the best possible deal. And I focused just on university students because I knew that students wanted to save £1. If you saved £1, you saved a real. That was a pound of real that you could use to spend with your friends at the cinema or maybe have a pizza party. I don't know. So that did really well. I ended up selling the business, ended up, putting some money in my pocket and basically buying my freedom, let's say. So that's how I got started. And then eventually it evolved into I Love Qatar. Now, it was with I Love Qatar and the I Love Qatar network that I ended up hitting those 1 million milestones. And I know that you guys can do it too, inshallah. And I didn't just want to go ahead and set up a business that was going to put money in my pocket, but I wanted to set up a business that was going to benefit the community and have a sense of social responsibility. It was all about, social entrepreneurialism. Is that a word? If it's not, I invented it. If it is, cool. So I wanted to do something that was going to help benefit society. And I really didn't have a lot of money after I had come back from university to build the project further. So I ended up getting a job. I worked at a bank, investment banking, and I got to work on some amazing projects that I think people with 10, 15 years experience would have dreamed to have worked on. That's one of the advantages of working in Qatar. You get to work on some pretty amazing things. So I got that job. I made a little bit of money and I started to work on the website. I was the writer, I was the developer, I was the programmer, I was the designer, I was everything. I was a one-man show. But I knew, of course, that I needed to build a team. So I put out a promise. If people could come and help me achieve something amazing, eventually as it grew and as it generated revenue, I would prioritize them, compensating them first, before putting even a real in my pocket. So I guess, that was one of the first learnings that I realized, it's very important, putting your team first and also getting people that believe in your vision and trust you. You need to have a loyal team that will help you do some amazing things. So I Love Qatar was going to be a platform that people could find information about the country. Now you see, a lot of international businesses, big giant businesses, will pay firms for market research, market studies. You don't need to spend all that money. You know why? There's something called the internet, and you can ask the people, and people on the internet are very, very vocal. They are very happy to share their opinions with you. And so all I did is I put out a simple question. What do you want I Love Qatar to be? And quickly people started telling me, we wanted forums, we wanted events, we wanted guides. So I'm like, okay, people are telling me what they want. That's what I'm gonna do. So quickly the people felt invested in the project, and they started to contribute too. They're like, hey, how can we help you? So the team started to grow. It's a team of volunteers. Eventually we got our first staff involved too. And it quickly evolved into what you see today, a platform that is much bigger than just iloveqatar.net, but it's a network of brands and websites and community members that I'm really proud to say that a lot of people trust, because I guess that brings me to another really important lesson. If you want to sell something to people, they need to trust what you are selling. And it was very important for my team to trust me as a leader. It was important for my viewers to trust the content that was being put out there on the platform. And it was also very important for the partners that have decided to invest in the project to basically not just trust me, but trust each other. And of course, it's two ways. I have to trust them as much as I want them to trust me. So the website started to grow. I was very happy, with the direction we were taking, but I also wanted it to continuously grow. And there was something that I had learned, a very long time ago, is that if you keep that startup mentality, you're always gonna have that hunger. You're always gonna do things a little bit more efficiently and not become that big giant behemoth of an organization that's really hard to manage. And that's why until today, 12 years later, I Love Qatar Network still acts like a startup. And I think we've got that startup spirit here in the office too. Even the camera guy who's standing behind the camera right now, I'm sure he'll agree. Now, in order for me to get 1 million views, in order to make 1 million riyals, and in order to reach 1 million eyeballs, I had to set goals. And these were simple, easy to achieve goals. I wanted to get 100 impressions in the first week. I wanted to get 1,000 impressions on average, for example, then weekly. Then I wanted to get to 10,000, and I wanted to grow in increments. But the point is, I had a goal, and that was something that I wanted to reach out to, which brings me to trying to get people on board with focusing on digital. So I'm always about creating digital content, using social media platforms and so on. And at the time it was quite difficult, but today the media landscape has changed completely. I think you'll see a lot of companies want to advertise or prefer to advertise online because they know that they can measure their results. They know that they can get better value, and they know that they can quickly make tweaks or adjustments to the campaigns that they're putting out there practically instantly. So people are advertising a lot on the network, but they're also advertising with a lot of social media influencers. So sometimes people say, how do you become an influencer? My opinion is, and again, I don't have all of the answers, I'm just sharing my experiences, and it's up to you to see if you can learn from those experiences. You might have your own way too. So how do you become an influencer? Well, first of all, stop saying that I want to become an influencer. Focus on the content that it is that you want to create and how you want people to see you. Do you want people to know you? Do you want your reputation to be because you have the best choice of makeup or fashion or your knowledge for technology is something that people appreciate? Like, what do you want people to recognize you for? Once you have that and you create a channel that is really focused on that, hyper-focused, then you can start to build your audience. And then once you build an audience that trusts you, guess what? Now you've got influence. And that's when you become an influencer. So, put simply, I see a lot of people decide that today I'm gonna become an influencer in general, and I'm gonna talk about everything, and I'm gonna do everything, and I'm gonna be a jack of all trades. It does not work. You have to specialize in something. It's not that it doesn't work because people don't trust you or trust that you could be good at many different things, but it doesn't work because you end up becoming scattered and you don't know where to focus. So focus on something, own it, master it, and then move on to the next thing. So influencers today seem to think that it's just about sharing a photo online, maybe of their cup of coffee, which looks pretty great. I think that's pretty cool. But advertisers want to work with someone who's creating content, someone who is creating something that's valuable and something that they want to be associated with. Just as much as you want Starbucks to want to work with you, you should change that mentality in saying that, listen, I want to work, or Starbucks wants to work with me, not I want to work with Starbucks. And the way that they're going to want to work with you is by seeing the cool stuff, that you can put out there. Also, decide your platform, because trust me, it is very difficult to get on Twitter and on Instagram and on YouTube and on TikTok, I was going to say TikTok, maybe I'm hungry, TikTok too. But you're never going to be able to manage every single platform efficiently. For example, with Raqami TV, which is now at 2.5 or almost to 2.5 million subscribers, yes, we're on all social media platforms, but YouTube, that's where I live. That's where my home is. When it comes to iloveqatar.net, our main platform actually isn't what we share on social media, but it's our website. That's where our home is online. And then we disseminate our content on different social platforms. When it comes to Q-Tips, Q-Tips is on Instagram and on YouTube. So pick your platform and it'll make your lives a little bit more easier. You can decide how you want to spread it out. So long story short, if you want to become an influencer, stop thinking that you want to become an influencer and start thinking like a content creator. The influence will come. So let me share a couple of nuggets of wisdom. First of all, my father one time asked me a question. He says to me, Khalifa, what's the purpose of going into a business meeting? I thought it was a trick question. So I said, to do business. He said, wrong. I said, to make a sale. Wrong. What is it? He said, to walk out with a friend. He said, business will come and go, but friendships will take you places. So I always remember that whenever I went into a meeting, whether it was a friendly meeting or a business meeting, business was always put to the side, and it was the relationship that I always focused on first. Another experience that I once had was with my baby sister, Hannah. So one time, I think I was 12 years old, I was laying down watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the television, and my baby sister walks up to me and she gives me a glass of water. And I said, I didn't ask for water. She said, I know, but you look thirsty. I said, how do you know I'm thirsty? I'm watching television. She said to me, I don't know, but it's nice to be nice. So I always remembered that you don't need a reason to do something nice, because it's nice to be nice. And I try to apply that philosophy to my life and to my workplace as well. Another really important thing that I've learned as time has passed is the importance of a legacy. You see, when you die, you're not taking anything with you into your grave. But what you are leaving behind is your reputation. How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as the kind person that set up a media company that helped to make a difference in the country? Do you want to be remembered as an inventor who had created something that could help people in impoverished countries? It could be anything. Just think about how you want to be remembered, and that will help shape your business, and it will help shape you as a person too. So I think those are the three most important nuggets of wisdom. To share a little bit more though in regards to the influencer side of things, if you focus on this, I guarantee you that you will get business. I'm giving Listen, I'm giving you a guarantee here, and I shouldn't be doing this. A lot of people, they go vague. They say, no, I'm just gonna talk in general. I'm giving you a fact. If you want to be a successful influencer or someone in media or content creator, focus on conversion and not on reach. Would you as a business, if you were a business owner and you're reaching out to an influencer, would you rather have 1 million views or 1 million customers? Would you rather have someone who has 1 million likes but gets you 10 customers? Or would you rather have someone who has 10,000 followers but gets you 100 customers? That's the conversion. And if you focus on that number, on that metric, it's going to be hard for any company to say no to you. So put simply, those are just a couple of bits of wisdom that I have learned as I have grown up, and I really hope that that helps you hopefully be as successful as possible. And you know what, I'll end it with one more little bit of wisdom. One little nugget. Don't do everything on your own. Try to work with others. Even if they're a competition, try to work with them too. It's called co-opetition. Try to grow the market together and try to succeed together. Get into that mentality. Not everybody's against you. You'll be surprised. There are a lot of people out there that want to help. So I really hope that helped. And I've been Khalifa Haroon. مع السلامة.